All right. Hello, folks. We are back for another Railroader live stream here. And we're just picking up where we left off yesterday, which is we're bringing this train from Andrews back to Bryson to sort it out. And we've got our brand new SD7s, two of them. Really proud of that. And this awesome looking caboose right here, which we got all nice and pretty looking here. It's yellow with some blue on there, blue lettering. I think it's pretty great. Let's go ahead and go to first person because we're standing. Oops, no, we're not. Never mind. We're not standing here anymore. Okay, well, we were standing on the actual platform of the caboose, and we're not anymore. So we're going to try to hop back aboard this train. We'll see how this works. Okay, cool. Nope. There we go. Now we're on the train. Yeah, that was a surprise right there. Okay. So yeah, so we're riding in the caboose. The train is on the move towards a siding, and I think it's Topton that we're heading to. Because we've got to, let's go ahead and can we sit? We probably can't sit. Can we sit? We can sit here. That's awesome. And look out the window. We're going to check our map real quick because this is where we currently are. Our train is pretty big. I would say probably not going to fit at any sidings on the route here, but we're going to find out at Roto. We're coming up to Roto pretty quickly here. And then I think most of these sidings are going to be close in size. So we may have to make a set out just to fit and pass the other train, which is a local coming out of Bryson that we sorted out yesterday at the beginning of yesterday's video. And that local train is currently somewhere. Here he is. He's at milepost 79. He's coming our way. At milepost 79, he's going to be going through Wesser momentarily. So he's there, and we're over here. We still got a little bit of ways away from each other, but we're approaching. We're both approaching. Yeah, so we're hanging out in this caboose right here right now. And just looking out the window here. We're doing a morning live stream today, because that's right. That's how I do things, apparently. Sorry, I can't double task. I was texting somebody. Yeah, let's see, there we are. Okay. Yeah, I can't double task whatsoever, so if you don't hear me, it's because we're struggling too. We're moving really slow because this train is a monster. But yeah, getting back to my point, yeah, we're live streaming in the morning. It's like a Wednesday morning right now. So yeah, that's my thing. That's how I do it. I try to find the non-peak times to do my streams because that is really good for a channel that's just starting up, trying to grow. That's how I do things. Let's go ahead and lean out the other side right here. I wonder if I can climb on the roof. And I'm just going to go ahead and guess I probably could if I wanted to. I think when we left off yesterday, we were talking about how cool it is to just ride on a caboose. And where, I was talking about my experience being able to do that on a museum for a short period of time. It was a lot of fun. It's peaceful. Now, I don't know how it would have been different, being on like a main line, busy, going 100 miles an hour, or, going, 100, 200 miles. I can't talk today, apparently. going 100, 200 miles, you know, it might get old after a couple years, but it is quite beautiful and quiet and peaceful just to ride on the back of a caboose. I could just do this all day. This river just kind of wind around. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. It's an interesting physical feature. I mean, you just kind of have to do what you got to do, right? We are really, really dragging. And I know it's because we have a heavy train. We have a very heavy train that we're pulling right now. But yeah, we're just going to continue rolling right along here until we get to Bryson. We can sort all of this junk out and get it moving. Now, we also have a bunch of freight that's on local trains that needs to go to their destinations, get spotted up. So we'll probably do a little bit of a mix of that. So we're not going to sort this train. We'll get it to Bryson. And then some points along that way, we're going to hop into switching at Ela to take care of the industries with those. It was a shorter train. It shouldn't take too much. And everything has been very nicely, thoughtfully blocked for us from the other railroad, interchanging it to us, which is kind of nice. Unrealistic, but nice. Water looks really good for this game. It does look really good. I was reading some stuff yesterday. We're going through a tunnel. This looks a little too dark in the tunnel. We're just gonna go inside real quick. It's very black in here. Just, yeah, that doesn't look super accurate. Like I don't think you should see the tracks. Like there should be like, maybe you can see just a little bit right there, and then it should just be darkness after that. But what do I know? I'm not going to critique every little thing. Like I couldn't do it. So, but what I did hear, or read, I should say, in a recent posting on Facebook was that Railroader is coming out with a route editing tool so that you can edit or create your own routes. Now, from what I understand, you're going to be able to edit a route, and I'm not quite sure because I haven't seen the original posting, so I'm not quite sure if it's something where you're able to edit this existing route, like make tweaks to this, or if you're going to be able to create your own new route. But one of the hints in that is that there is the ability to upload like terrain files, so you can, you know, model. I think that would be super freaking cool if they do that, because this is okay. It's a great setup. It's Railroader has it doesn't have the same, I think, issues that like TRS has, and I've said this in previous videos, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat it, which is that they don't have years and years of like old, out-of-date content. It's all fairly fresh and fairly uniform, whereas like TRS, Train Simulator, some of that stuff, it's very it's just, there's been so much stuff that the legacy content and things don't fit right because the games have changed so much over the years. And whenever you do build something, or you it's just, things are not always compatible, and you're always ending up with missing files and whatnot. I think that a lot of that would go away with Railroader. And Railroader has, of course, the industry stuff, which is great, so you can, you know, hopefully set the same thing up. You should be able to, right? Like, why would they make a game where you can just, like, you should be able to set everything up, and I think that is going to be a big, I hate to say the word game changer because it sounds so, like, overused, but that's where we're at. that's what we have coming in the future. Now the timeline for that was it was a couple weeks to like 6 months is what I read. So someone, if you know, I would love to know if you have information. Leave it in the comments, because that's going to be really cool to have. And Railroader does have a lot of mods now too, which that's excellent. There's some cool mods that have come out for it. I gotta press the right button, otherwise I'll be jumping off this train. I just wanted to kind of get a look around the corner here. And then we're gonna go up in the coupe. Oh, no, 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 no. No! Ah! Did it again. Okay, hold on. Okay, now we're on the ladder. Well, I guess we can climb up on the roof now. See our train from a different perspective. This might actually help us, actually. Let's see. So we need to get to the head end of our train and see just how well it fits in the siding right here. So yeah, you can see from this angle, we are way too long to fit. We are way too long to fit. And we're struggling too. Like, this is not... That's not good for us as far as that's concerned. Here's our brand new SD7s that we just got delivered to us. They are beautiful looking. But they are struggling, so we're putting them to good use right away here. Again, what we may need to do is set these cars out. I think we're going to set these cars out at the next siding. I wonder, can I hop back down? Like, I wonder, can I, like, teleport myself into the inside of this train? Nope. Nope, I just kicked myself back out. Okay, there we go. We're moving slower now, so that works. This should be... Oh, I'm sure it's set it on the side there, but... We're going through Roto right now, so that was Roto. And then Topton is the next one. So I think at Topton, we're going to set cars out. I don't want to set it out there because that's sort of a dead spot. So at Topton, we're going to set cars out. What about here? That's interesting segment of track. This is Nantala. That's where the other train is headed. I think what we're going to do, though, is we need that branch line, I'm guessing. Doesn't really show industries on here. I wish it would show industries. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. We'll set these cars out of Topton. We'll proceed to Nantala. That's where we're meeting this local train. And then when we get there, we will meet this other train with hopefully enough room to pass. And I'm just thinking about, like, what the... If those two sidings were just lapped over each other, that would have been great. That would have solved all of our problems. But we'll go into siding here. We could shove this entire train into this spur track, but I don't know what the gradient's like on there either. So then the other alternative is just to make a set out at Topton. Leave part of our train in the siding at Topton. And then we can come back later with this local and grab it. We can come back later and grab it with the local. It's already going to be going that way anyway, so we can, like, return to Bryson with the rest of it. So that's an option, and I think that would probably be the most, like, logical thing to do at this point, just to make sure this train is short enough. And the other thing is, too, is we can kind of judge when we get to Topton how far we need to go. And again, that's also just, we're taking sort of a risk because I don't know what the siding lengths are. The siding lengths could be different. So our train right now, actually, it does tell us. And the train length right now is 2285 on the footage. I think if we go to the dispatcher board, it's not going to tell us. We're over here right now. We're got to go to here, but it doesn't tell us how long Topton is. It doesn't really tell us how long any of these sidings are. Right? Doesn't give us any like good info, unfortunately. Timetable? It's not really a timetable like I'm thinking. Signals, multiplayer, controls. I don't think that's going to help me. Okay. That didn't help. Let's go to locations. Topton. This doesn't tell you how long the track is either. That would have been helpful. Yeah, I don't think that's going to help us. I think we're just going to have to kind of eyeball this. Okay, that's fine. We're going to go back. We're going back to the caboose. We like jumped off a little bit. We were in the cupola and we've fallen off the cupola now. So we're just going to go back to where we were. And then we're in follow mode so we can see our head end now. Really, really trying to break this grade. The other issue here is that we may end up running into a situation where we have to double this grade if we can't make it. So that's a possibility as well that we need to consider, because we are going up a pretty strong grade right there, just judging by how the engines are working really hard. So let's see. Yeah, it's just I'm sure this is just going to continue going uphill. Just trying to see how far away the siding was. Can't be that far. There it is. Yeah, this isn't much of a siding, so we're going to go ahead and come up here, make our set out at Topton, and then we can go back. Hopefully, though, we're making it pretty far. Hopefully we're able to make it pretty all the way to that location, because I want to eyeball it, so I'm not taking off I'm not taking off any more than I need to, is the hope. Yeah, we're really just kind of creeping along right here. This is not very progressive for us. Wow. We're not too far off. We're not too far off at all. It's right here. So we're going to be here in just a bit, and we'll go ahead and set our new waypoint to right here. 1.7 miles away. So it's not too far. What we really need to do now is go to our map, see how our other train is doing, because I'm worried maybe I underpowered that one as well. Like maybe that one's not doing too hot either. But I gotta find them first. It's probably made a lot of progress since I last checked. There he is. Oh. Is that, yeah, they're coming into Nanola now, so. Okay, let's go just check them out real quick. Yeah, it's telling me they just arrived to the waypoint, so we can go real quick and just check them out. This is the local that we put together yesterday in the ill-fated video that I did there. So they did arrive. This might be the... See, they fit perfectly. They fit perfectly with room to spare. This train does. They're gonna wait until we get here though, because that's where we're going, is to this siding track and passing this train. So it's kind of crazy looking. Like it looks like it may just fit. Actually, that's gonna be sad. I wish I just knew what the footage was. I don't know if I can quickly like do a research on this and see. Oh, dang it! Come on, quicker. Nan tall siding. It's Nanola passing siding is 1810. And only 1660 with the signaling, so that's not very much. What's the longest siding in Railroader? 4,000 feet at Bryson, Main 2. Well, that makes sense. None of these other ones are going to help us. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead. We know it's 1,600 foot. Let's get back to our train. 1,600 foot. We're moving a little bit faster now, so that means we've crested this grade, I'm guessing. 1,600 foot. We are 22, meaning we've got to shave off. We've got to shave off a good portion of this train. Maybe dumping off these empty coal hoppers will do it, and that's probably what I'll do. I would rather set stuff off at the head end, but those cars are going to be a mix of loads. So just railroad practice. You don't screw your loads over. You got to prioritize your loads a little bit more above the empty cars, because you're sort of holding that product, like that shipment is sort of being held hostage by you as the railroad when you have it, like when at least it's an empty car, like the product isn't already in the car, so it means you have, like, you know, as much as it doesn't make you look very good to not have an empty car ready to be loaded, and at the same time your shipper has other options. So that's kind of how we handle that thing on the railroad. We're almost there. It's pacing back and forth right now. Go see, maybe we can see better from the cupola. Climb up here. How are we looking out there? Can't see much around that little hill right there, but it's opening up a little bit. It's sort of a unique view though, because like most of the time you're watching it from the cab, you're not watching it from the caboose like this. This is just sort of an interesting viewpoint and perspective on everything. Again, we can eyeball it when we get to the siding, so we can just see how much we need to set off. But I think these empty hoppers are certainly going to be the ones to go. I was trying to, like, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. I've got another curve here. I thought we were close. Mile marker 91. Mile marker 91, so let's go back. Okay, coming up to it now. We're arriving to the siding now. We will eventually come all the way up and then shove in, so we're gonna just let this train roll right on up to this point here. It almost seems like maybe half this train's going to have to go. Struggling again. Really struggling. I'm almost a little nervous if we're going to have trouble getting this train all the way up. Just want to take a quick screenshot. Okay, so we need to now look and see where we stand with this train. I think it's basically going to have to be these hoppers. Everything from these hoppers back is going to have to go. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and put it into road mode here so we can run. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so right there is going to be like our limit. And then it's going to be these hoppers. Yeah. So everything here back is going to have to get set out minus the cab. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit that's going to go. I wonder, where are these things going? See, that's all going back that way, so that doesn't That's not. That's going that way, but you know, unfortunately, it's just going to have to be that way. We'll keep the loads. Keep as many of these loads as we can. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I just went into first person mode. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. Should have ran this in 2 trains. That's another option we have. Would be just to originate another train out of Andrews, and then have that one just follow up and pick these things up and go about. But I mean, we already got one that's coming this way, so we can kind of just keep moving with that. We're gonna go all the way to the caboose, and then we'll shove back into the siding with the rest of it and tie it down. I'm just thinking maybe this Western Maryland boxcar. I'm sorry for the farming supplies for Tatum. They are just unfortunately not going to make it. They're not making it. Not right now, at least. We'll get them moving though at some point. I just have to remember that I got stuff there, because I'm going to forget that I've got cars sitting in Topton. It's like the story of Penn Central when they were really struggling, and they suddenly lost a coal train in a siding somewhere, and just because the engines were removed and the computer system didn't really follow, he wasn't really keeping track of trains other than the engines, and they just completely lost the coal train. And if we're not careful, that could be the NF and J, and I don't want that to be the case. All right, go ahead and stop her there. Tie this cab down, and then we will set these cars out. All right. Gonna do a reach around here. There we go. Okay, and now we can proceed forward. I do admire the technology that, or like the system that they have in place in Railroader, where you get all these really cool reporting marks for the different railroads. The only thing that kind of takes away is that you would just assume all of these hopper cars would probably belong to the same railroad, being all like one block like that. You would probably not see much you wouldn't see such a mix of coal hoppers when in like real life. But you know, again, this is a game, and you know, they're still getting themselves kind of figured out. So you know, you got to kind of give them a little bit of a break on that. Like, it's definitely going in the right direction, and you know, I'm sure there's just a few tweaks you could do to make sure that is, like, you know, because how fast we were moving at the end there. I think that we're like almost on a grade coming up here. You should be good to go. Come on. Come on. Shake and bake. There we go. Like the tech, like it's all there. Like they've got stuff worked out pretty well so far. So like it's hard to criticize them too much on stuff like that, but like it would be kind of cool if they were able to kind of like in run 8, where you would like choose like how you wanted things to spawn, and you could like include and exclude certain like reporting marks and equipment. And I feel like that would be great. But again, it's not like a super hard, like, you know, this game is unplayable because of it. It's just more of a, you know, that would be kind of a cool thing to see, you know, if you're already making improvements. Sorry, out of an abundance of caution, I might leave that tank car here as well. We'll go all the way to the tank because I just want to be sure. I'll have other options, like if it's still not enough, but I'm hoping that should be plenty right there. Like this is almost an entire train as is. We'll leave it just past the station platform, that way passenger train can still stop. That'll do there, bucko. I don't know what we're... It's because we're going down grade right now. I'm definitely going to have to tie a little bit more handbrake on this, maybe 3 handbrake. You're good. Yeah, that was a tough one. We will tie the handbrakes down at the other end of this train, actually. Just in case a pin or knuckle breaks. I don't want the cars on the rear end to be... Oh, we're still going. Okay. Okay, we're still moving. I didn't know we were still... We can stop anytime. I don't know why we're moving. We're at 0. Are we having trouble? Do I need to take over? Yeah, put the brake on there, bud. There we go. Wow. It wasn't hard at all. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set some handbrakes on the rear end. And then that way... Yeah, get that tight. That way we can... Okay. One more. I think 3 will do it. It's not the... Like, it's a grade, but it's not like that much. Okay, and then we're going to go back up here to the head end. We're going to cut off at the tank car still. And we just need to make sure we get this angle cock closed. Okay. Pull the pin. And then we can cut away. And then I'm just going to watch just to make sure this stuff stays. It's going to be a bit before it actually... Well, what are we doing? I don't know what the heck's going on with this train. It's not... And the reverse is not the problem. It's in the right direction. Pretty sure. I just think we're having trouble. Like, this should be much less. This should be no issue. Now, we've cut off so much of this, and I know a lot of this was actually empty already. So, like, in the reality, we're only cutting off, like, 2 loads, but... I guess that's true. But the empties do count a little bit, so, like... I feel like it shouldn't be that bad. No, I want to go reverse. Uno reverse. Come on. We can do this. Make sure that's pin is still pulled. Can you do it? Can you go backwards? I'm pretty sure I had that correct. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. So now the air should come off this, but it's basically an emergency, so it's actually going to be super secure now. We'll hop on this side. We'll ride the move out. Yeah, so that's just going to sit there until we can get a handle on her. So we still got pretty heavy train right here, and we'll get tied back on. Then I guess the question is should I just run a local out here to pick this stuff up and come back? Now, if I had an audience, if I had people watching, I'd actually maybe have them vote on that, but, you know, we're not really at this position right now to do that. Okay, let's go back and just set a waypoint for this. Yeah, I just want to do a waypoint. I don't want to have to worry about it. Tie back onto the cab. It is a really cool, like, look with the yellow. I think that was the way to go. Oops. I think that was the way to go with it. Okay. Are we moving? Because you haven't really been helping me much lately. This has not been working very well. We're really struggling. And the auto thing does not seem to want to work very well. Hey, we cut off a lot of cars. We really did cut some tonnage off this train, right? Oh, I wonder if that's going to be a problem. Yeah, we're at... Okay, so I'm glad I checked this, actually. Okay. Yeah, don't go anywhere. Stay there. Ooh, that might be an issue. What is that issue? You might be wondering. Well, if you look in the lower left corner, you'll see that right now this train is 1606, which was the length of the siding. But you know what, though? That was with CTCs, so we might be okay. Like, we might just be all right. Okay. Sorry. I just thought of something, which is I wish I would have thought of before. I got tunnel vision on this, actually. We're still struggling, so I'll leave those cars here just to add to the interest of this operation. What do you mean your orders are to stop? Your orders should be to go. You have your switch lined up for you. You should just come back. Is it because you're at a red signal? Do I have to take control again? I do. I'm going to have to take control again. Okay. Release, forward? Yeah, forward, nudge 2. Come on. Apparently manual's the only way to make this work. Okay, so just a thought. And I'm at this point, I'm mainly just in my defense. We're going to leave the cars here, but that was not the original plan. I was getting tunnel vision on meeting 2 trains along the route. But what I was not thinking about in that process was that you're able to just fine pass a long train as long as the other train can clear, which meant we would have probably been fine to pass the 2 trains. Again, I was getting tunnel vision on it. So we should flag this crossing, I guess. Not that there's any traffic out here. Not that so we would have been fine in like retrospect, we would have been just fine to do that. But yeah, I wasn't thinking about all that, but that's fine. This train was still really having trouble. So this just means it's going to move a little bit faster now, just that much more. And it's fine. It adds to the interest of the operation, but we actually would have been fine with a super long train passing through the siding. That's just my fault. I wasn't really thinking about that, and I got tunnel vision, and I should just, yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, this train can now go. I'm gonna undo the handbrake on it. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did we not connect properly? I actually should just make sure that's all set. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're good to go. And we're just gonna go ahead and go back into this view here and go into the map and then move over to Nantala here. That way we can set a waypoint and get this train moving. And maybe I can get, yeah, we'll set the waypoint for like right here for now. Only 4 miles away, so these trains will meet pretty shortly here. What I need to find out though is okay. So we need to figure out now. We did that. We're back on our train. We're moving. Actually moving much better now, so that was so maybe it was helpful to do what we did. Because we're moving much faster now. The next thing we need to figure out is okay, so we're doing good. We're gonna go back inside here. Is the industry stuff for these other jobs. Because this train will just make its way into... We'll just make its way over to the, let's see. I think it's a shift F8. I'm trying to see industry names, like industry tags. It may just not be in the industries right here either. This should definitely be an industry. Is it left shift F8 or is it right shift F8 or is it control? Or is it just F8? I don't know. I looked it up, but it's not helping me. It's not helping me whatsoever. That wasn't helpful. Okay, that would have been helpful. Let's go back to the game. Maybe that's what it is. Left shift F8. When I do that, it should show me industry names, but it's not doing that actually. As for a matter of fact, it's not showing me. It's not doing any of it. It's not doing any of the things that it said it would do. That's a pain in the butt. We are getting close, though. That's our train. We're moving much faster now. So we're going to be into town in no time now. It's kind of cool. So this branch line's like, it goes away that way. So you can actually see your train way, way out here. If I was in first person mode, it might look a little bit better, but you can actually see your train like for a pretty good distance, just kind of skirting this ridge right here. So that's kind of cool. Coming into Nanola, so let's go back. Where is the train right now? Let's see. That's the train. That's where we're at. Yeah, the train's going to be coming into view like in just a few minutes, so we'll hang tight here. There we are. That didn't take too long. I just kind of want to see it from this angle. I think it'll be kind of a cool look. Because it's still a lot of train. Like, it's still a lot of train that we're handling. It's really cool. I'm falling more and more in love with this NF&J railroad. Like the engines, the blue on the engines, the cabooses. I think it's kind of a cool look. Very cool. Very cool. By the way, this train is like the absolute limit for what you can handle on a siding. So that's a interest, or that's something to keep in mind, I guess. We're coming into Nanola now, and that means we will be... We're moving pretty good. That's because it looks like we're going downgrade. I'm starting to lose a little bit of confidence in that auto, like, engineer thing, so that's going to be a problem. It's currently set to normal? Oh, how's that normal? Oh, yeah, that is normal. We'll get our train into the siding, and then we can get her moving on to the end of the route. You know, this caboose should change, right? Or is it the rule was wood cabooses? This is a steel caboose. So the steel caboose definitely needs to be changed to the yellow. We have to get this guy moved around here, so we went with like a... No, that's too dark. There we go. And then the blue lettering. And the text will say N, F, and J. Not like that though. N, F, and J. N, F, and J all the way. What is this? What does this do? It doesn't tell me what it does. Anyway. Cool. So now we have another box or another caboose, steel caboose that is set to the proper livery for the NF and J. All right. And here we come. We're rolling into this. Oops. I'm just messing everything up. We're rolling right on into the siding now. Oops. Okay. Now, I'm not worried about not clearing because we can still get off the other side, so we're good there. But it does look like we're going to clear regardless, so that's good. Ooh, maybe not. We're right at the signal. Which is a good point to make. Like, so it's an 18, like we could fit in the siding, but then it's to clearance points, it's like 1,800 feet, but then from the perspective of the CTC signals, it's not, because they need a certain distance to clear. So that train is definitely like right at the limit. I guess I gotta throw switches manually, which is fine. May as well go into the map now and take ourselves to Bryson with this train. We'll just come right to the outside of the yard here at this signal, so we're gonna go here, and there we go. So that train should now be able to just proceed right along. It's an interesting story because I have this kind of like first-hand account for like how this works. We had a coal train. It was an empty coal train, and it was going southbound, and it had to meet a northbound manifest train, or to actually flip-flop that. It was a northbound coal train and a southbound manifest train. Not that that matters for this story. But so what happened was I needed to make sure that the manifest train was short enough to fit into a siding so that it could clear and allow the coal train to pass on the main line. And so I did the math, and I thought I had everything just right. Well, when the trains got down to the siding at the location where they were going to meet, the manifest train did not clear, and they could not get the signals to line up. And it was sort of a mess for a few minutes because they were just kind of stopped there. And it turned out that in the end, I did have the map just right, but it was super close. We were kind of amazed by it, actually. But what ended up happening was the manifest train was stretched out just a little too much, and when they were able to like let the slack roll in, well, it just fit. in between the signals, and everything cleared and the signals were able to give. So the train was able to pass, like the train was able to move through there, and it would have been able to pass. But with the signals, it was just a little too tight until we were able to slack the train altogether and deemed us just a couple extra feet that we needed to make the signals work again. So, interesting story, you know. We're really clipping along now, huh? This is what we were looking for earlier. This is what we were looking for earlier. We were struggling, but since we've gotten rid of those other cars, we're doing a lot better now. We're not going to stick too much longer with this. We're going to move on to another... We'll move on to another location. I've got some cabooses to paint in town, so we can go back to Bryson and maybe mess around with that a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna move on now. Those trains are gonna move, so we can now go to Elo, where we have our first local train. Let me go ahead and get ourselves on location there. Here's our other SD9. This is our SD9 and our GP9, I think it is. Oh, SD7, excuse me. SD7 and a GP9. With some manifest here to switch out. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Oh, that's right. This is where our fly mode is. Okay. Not what I was doing, but now we're distracted. Now we're distracted by being back at the yard here, so let's see. Let's see about our cabooses here that we were gonna paint. All three of them are still cabooses, actually. This was like the biggest distraction. So we're gonna have to get these colors pretty close, but let's see. So we go there, that's too bright, and then we come down. That's not it, because we got to go this way. Yeah, that's closer. Something that I've always noticed is that paint schemes, the paint liveries on trains, they're not always super close and like uniform. You're gonna get it where it's different size letterings. It's just part of the thing. Like nothing's ever uniform, so you don't ever have to worry about being perfect. But I did copy that yellow down just so we have it. And then we'll do the same with this one here. And then I think I can just copy that yellow code over now. Just means the blue will be a little different, but that's fine. And then N, F, and J. And then that one's done. And then finally, this one. Comments. Customize. And J. And then we got 3 cabooses now, all in their yellow livery. Looking nice. Looking real good. Okay, back to what we were doing. We're going to stick somewhat on topic right here. Back to Ela is where we need to go. So we have some stuff, I believe, that needs to get set out at Ela. We just need to find Silva. Is at the far end. Yeah, we got one Ela farm supply. So I got a red caboose over here too. What is the number on this one? It's 3. Yeah. That's very old. It's a very old looking caboose, but that's fine. So let's see here. We got one boxcar to spot. Stenzel is going to be a reverse move, so we're not going to be able to get that one. Ela. Farm supply is one of these tracks. I think it's this one right here. But for some reason my thingy doesn't want to work. Doesn't want to show. I don't know why. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Locations. Yeah, I want to see locations. It's not showing me though. That's what sucks. I don't know why I thought. Oh, there we go. So it's right here. It's R1. There we go. So that's where we got to put this boxcar. It's just this weird switchback moves that has to occur in order to accomplish that. And it's the rear of the train, which means it's going to have to get moved all the way up and then set into the siding. Where are you going? You're going to Stenzel? Yeah, and then these guys are all going to Silva, so... Okay, that's fine. So we're going to take control of this train. And we're going to go ahead and pull him up. We're not going to use that. We're going to use road. Okay. Well, that went really quick. Faster than I thought. Okay. No, we need to go further. Come on. Keep going. The horn kind of gets annoying after a bit. I want to pull this all the way up. Okay, so handbrake. Handbrake, and we don't need that anymore. Angle cock. Pull the pin. Forward. Set this into the siding. And then come back out. Put all these cars back together on the main. Okay. Quickly now. Wait, what happened? Why did that do that? Okay. Back into the siding. And I'm going to bring it down just a little bit further because I want to tie on without having to make an extra move to shove it. So we're going to bring it down just a little further to fit the engines on the next move. Okay, you are going to have a handbrake. Going to close the angle cock if I can reach it. Back out. Line normal. Set the waypoint. We're just going to let that do it that way. So, yeah, go here. I don't know what I just did. That was weird. Okay. It's like the handbrake wanted to tie itself back on. Or release itself. Oh, why is there... Oh, because... Okay. So I just have to go past it myself then. Alright. Road. Forward. And just go. You can just go. Oh, I gotta go in the manual. Forward. Come on, let's go. Impatient today. Oh, so close. Okay. All right. Sorry, I was double tasking. I was trying to double task. We're gonna hook the air hoses back up because we are eventually gonna move this. I don't want to forget that step later. I will try to shove with the handbrake on, just that way we don't have to do another handbrake. And we can just undo that handbrake once everything's done. So off the brakes, push this car, hopefully with the handbrake not causing us too much trouble. And then that way we have a handbrake tight on when we go to cut away again to make this switchback move. I like how you can seamlessly transfer between different like control modes, control methods. It is helpful, I should say. Okay, back off of that. We are abusing these engines today. Okay, angle cock closed. Knuckle pulled. Pulling away. All right, and then back onto our train again. Once we're past that signal, we should just be able to use the waypoint. Cool. Oh, that just stopped the engines. I don't know why we needed to do that, but okay. Oh. Okay, see, now we're in the perfect spot to, yeah, we're going to pull all the way up, and I hope we can actually fit everything. I think it's just going to have to go all the way to the bumper. Hopefully, that should work. It's a short, let's see. Will that all fit? That should fit, right? 2 engines in one car, that should fit just fine. Oh, there's a handbrake, of course. There we go. Now you can go. Oh, that's right. We got to tie everything on. My bad. Just bleed it. We'll just bleed the car. There we go. Now you can go. Okay, right to the bumper, and that helped us out perfectly. Might have even been able to get another car in there, so almost 2 cars would have fit. Going back over here to spot. And then this is our first official industry spotted, which is great. I need some better horn sounds, man. I need some better horn sounds. Okay, cut away. Yeah, handbrake. Oh, hey, we made $80. That's cool. I didn't know we were making money. I didn't know we were making money. We need to come back out to like right here, I think, is like before we're going to hit a red signal. So it can do all of those moves for us. Perfect. of nice that we have our first car spotted. Then the next car is going to go to Stenzel, which is this car. But the problem with the Stenzel car is that it's a facing point, so we'll have to set to a siding, and we're not going to run around and do a bunch of silly stuff with it. We're going to set it to the siding and spot it on the other way. Or we just go all the way to Selva with it and come back, spot it once it's a trailing point move. That is another option. Okay, so now I want to come back and tie on. Yeah, it says there's a stop signal. Will it? Oh, is it actually going to work? No, it doesn't like it. Yeah, I'm like, we'll just go past it. Just go past it. It's okay. But we have to override it manually to do this the right way. So, okay. Or to make it work, I should say. It's not the right way. It's how we make it work. Like in railroad practice, you can run past a red signal as long as you are getting permission to do so by the dispatcher. And then you have to do so at restricted speed because it's basically line of sight. You're looking out for anything that might be ahead of you. And you have to be able to stop before that happens. You actually have to be able to stop like halfway, so... Decisions. Now we have to think about how we're going to do this next move. I think we're just going to go all the way to Selva with this. So we need to go to the map. We need to find Selva on the map. It's going to be here. So we'll just go ahead and Control T. And then we'll just go ahead and set the, let's see, that's the town. Right, just bring it right up to the station, or this station sign here. There we go. That should work. Selva is like a big industrial town, but there's not really a railroad facility here. Like, not much of a railroad facility, I don't believe. Even though it's the other end of the line, you'd think there should be, but there just isn't. There's sort of the... Yeah, there's no roundhouse or anything that I can see. No engine servicing. It's just a big industry area. Anyway, let's see here. So we have now probably gone about, what, 2 hours, an hour and a half with this video? I think what we'll do is we'll wrap this one up for the day, and then we will pick up again. Yeah, an hour and a half. We'll pick up again and see what we can do in the next video. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and end it right there. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.